Hello guys, it's me. Listen, season 12 is pretty terrible. Um, so bad that I would say it is easily one of the worst seasons in the history of Overwatch. Now, a lot of people are going to say, okay, that's the worst take of all time, but I want to explain why. So don't click off just yet, because I know that take might seem crazy, because, like, especially the older players will know that's an absurd thing to say. So, let's go over why. Firstly, just to clarify, I did play through 5-man res, Moth meta, I played through double shield, I played through goats, I played through the dog shit. Truly dog shit meta. I promise you I did, and it was awful. However, a big reason for this season being awful, surprisingly, is not game balance. Now, obviously, game balance is definitely a part of it, because the balance is fucking atrocious. However, the main reason the season is so terrible is that a lot of things just simply came together. A lot of things that were terrible came together. Starting with ranked being completely fucking broken. The ranks are super inflated, they're super deflated at the same time, and no one takes it seriously. Right, let's talk about a few things. Now, this is no hate to anyone that I'm about to mention, okay? I'm a big fan of all of these people. I've spoken to them before. Trust me, I love these people. Do not interpret this as me flaming these people. That's not true. But Flats is a Masters 4 player right now. Now, listen, Flats is not what he used to be. It's not the Giga Chad Ryan that he used to be. He's not the good player that he used to be. He's definitely a shadow of his older self, where he definitely does not take ranked seriously anymore. But he's not a fucking Masters 4 player. That's the equivalent of 3,600 in Overwatch 1. That's like a solid 700 SR below where he would usually play. That's crazy. Secondly, Samito's GM5 on DPS. GM5. Samito has been getting like top 10 DPS for like 8 fucking years, and he's low GM. How does that occur? Beyond these things, in general, the amount of times that I will queue into these higher elo games and go, you could legit, if this was a replay code sent to me and I was reviewing it for like Guess My SR or whatever, I would legitimately tell you this was plat. Like, the game quality is fucking awful sometimes. Like, you see high ranked players do the most unbelievably brain dead shit constantly, all the time. And it's crazy because you'll be watching these players and you'll be like, okay, this guy's GM 1, he was plat 4 seasons ago, maybe he's just improved. And then you watch his gameplay, you go, nah, this guy, I'm actually surprised he even made it to plat in the first place, because that's the worst gameplay I've ever seen. Just one of the things that I tend to notice. It tends to be the DPS players, by the way, but that role's horrible, so I don't blame them for it all that much, unless you play Ashe or Reaper, or Tracer or Sombra. Then I'm sorry, you're just bad. So, another thing is, because ranked this season is broken and the balance is terrible, and beyond, and obviously everything else, this is causing all of the higher ranked players to go, yeah, this season kind of sucks balls, bro. I don't know even why I'm wasting my fucking time playing ranked. I'm just gonna go play quick play, or I'm gonna go Smurf. I'm actually okay with Smurfing. That's going to get me crucified. Same with the Aspen take. This is a wild take so far. This is hot. But I'm generally okay with Smurfing. I believe Smurfing actually is pretty healthy for a player base. Without Smurfing, you kind of lose a lot. And obviously with too much Smurfing, it becomes really problematic, which is what's happening this season, where because the meta is so terrible and everything else coming together is so ass, all the higher ranked players are Smurfing or playing quick play, which means the higher ranks are deflated with players. There's no one in them anymore because no one's fucking playing the game because the meta sucks. So that means two things. The queue times get longer, which everyone hates, which causes even less people to play, which then obviously makes the queue times even longer. But not only that, it makes the game force players into a higher rank so that they are able to fill those higher ranked lobbies. So those higher ranked lobbies now not only have a wider range of ranks in them, the queue times are also slower, the game quality is significantly lower, and players are extremely boosted. This is about the worst case scenario, where you can queue into GM1 games and you could, I shit you not, genuinely believe half the lobby was diamond or plat. It's not uncommon. Watch any top 500 streamer ever. I guarantee you in at least half of their games, there is a player that is monumentally dog shit. Just absolute garbage, and that is being generous. I would say the majority of games have a player who is just so unbelievably bad, you would think that they had purchased their account. But that's just the state of the game. So, because all the players are smurfing and things like that, the higher rank obviously becomes deflated. Then that means all the shit players go into that rank. Of course. There you go. Not only this, now that's obviously a problem, but that problem's not really affecting like the gold player per se. Now, why does this season suck for a gold player, right? Now, previously, back in Overwatch 1, when something was really strong, let's say double shield, for example, if you're in GM, you feel it like a motherfucker. Every game, pain, because everyone knows how to play it. Everyone's playing Bat Break, they understand how to work it. Everyone's playing Sigma Orisa, everyone knows how to work it, and the game sucks. But the lower ranked players don't know how the comp works. They don't know how to play it efficiently. They don't know where to position themselves when they play it and things like that. So it's not that oppressive in the low ranks, because even though it was extremely oppressive in the higher ranks, it's not that easy to play. It's not just to turn your brain off and use it like it is now. So the lower ranked players were not affected. However, the game has gotten so dumbed down and has gained so much accessibility that all of the shit players, I shouldn't say shit players, that's disrespectful. All of the players who are in the lower ranks are now obscenely affected by these things that they were never affected by before, because the game accessibility is so high. D.Va is so brain dead easy to play, is so incredibly padded with stats, and requires basically no brain whatsoever, because you can do whatever the fuck she wants because she is that way. That means that even the gold players are affected. And this is how you know it's getting really bad. Not only is it the lower ranks that are fucked, no. It's the quick play games. It's the Mystery Heroes games. It's the fucking arcade games are affected by how shit the meta is. Back in the day, unless you were like 4K SR, the meta was almost irrelevant. Because you could play whatever the fuck you wanted, because the game was so difficult to access, the game was so difficult to play, that you could do whatever you wanted on the other heroes, and as long as you played well enough, you would rank up. It wasn't until the super higher ranks where you were super affected by meta. And even then, you weren't affected that much either. There were people locking Genji into goats and doing well. However, today, you can queue into quick play and get roundhouse kicked by a fucking silver player on D.Va because you don't want to mirror or your team don't want to play the right thing. In quick play. I can't stress that enough. In fucking quick play, it's the same thing. Another reason the game is so terrible right now is because no one comms anymore. No one speaks a word. Nobody. Nothing. Not in high rank, low rank, quick play, nowhere. There is not a single comm being spoken. Now, this might be a little bit different on NA servers. People are definitely a little more inclined to speak there. But on EU, it is complete fucking silence for a lot of reasons. Firstly, no one takes rank seriously anymore anyway, so of course no one is calming. Another reason is the reporting system is just fucking terrible. If you say the word like garbage, well, you're fucking suspended, bro. I'm sorry. You say easy in chat, well, you're fucking suspended. Support def, you're suspended. Like, we have devolved so much as a fucking species that just saying the word easy to somebody over a ranked game of Overwatch is enough to set people into a frenzy to the degree of genuinely wishing that a player is no longer able to play the video game anymore because they said the word easy to you in your Overwatch ranked game. That is legitimately the place we're at, where you cannot speak anymore without the risk of not being able to play the game. The team-based hero shooter game, you cannot speak in, because if you do, you might get suspended. Dumbest shit in the fucking world. Another reason this season is horrible, Clash, legit the worst game mode I've ever played. Seriously, I've played so many games, it's genuinely dog shit. 2CP was better than this. I don't see how anyone could disagree. If you go to the last point, you fucking lose the game. Genuinely. Like, for example, let's say you cap the center point and then the next point and then you go to the point after. They have like 25 seconds before the point even unlocks. So let's say the point unlocks and you wipe their team. You have to wipe their team 3 times before you can even think about capping a single tick on the point. Plus, with the new wave respawn system, it makes it even easier because now the team is respawning a lot faster than they were before. So it's just just worse in every way. Genuinely, the game mode is just horrible, and so is Wave Respawn. They're both terrible for the game. So, Clash is just monumentally dog shit. It's just Giga Snowball game mode. Winning the first point is a genuine disadvantage, because when you win the first point, you end up going into defender-sided territory with a huge defender-sided advantage, because the map control is so much better on the defender side, because that side of the map is stronger. Therefore, winning more points pushes you into a zone that is more likely to be easier to contest by the defending team, meaning that if they win, they can snowball you easier because they are walking through their own defensive territory as they push you back, so they are gaining more map control that is more defender-sided as they go, which makes them snowball even more, which makes them snowball to the point where they win the game. It's the worst game mode of all time. Genuinely, it's horrible. It should get vaulted. But not only that, the game balance itself is genuinely just atrocious. I don't know how Ashe has been in the game for this long and is still this broken. I've been saying Ashe has been broken since release, and people are like, and you're just fucking dumb. You're just dumb. Well, guys, look at this. We've finally found an environment where Ashe basically hasn't been touched, apart from the fact that she's now a more pickable hero in the environment. And wow, holy shit, look at that. Everyone's saying Ashe is extremely brain dead and OP, like she has been the entire time. It's just the best environment for her now. It's a bit similar to Brig, how everyone was like, no, Brig is bad, Brig is terrible. Wow, look at that. It's a dive meta. Holy shit, Brig is insanely OP. How couldn't we have seen this? Oh, because the environment wasn't good for her. Wow, it's almost like I've been saying that she's been insanely OP for a long time now, and everyone called me dumb for that. Would you look at that? I was fucking right. Again, not to come off ego-y, but like, I told you so. So Ashe obviously does just a fucking ludicrous amount of damage. She just AFKs at the back of the map all day. Shit's boring as hell. Dynamite does too much damage. She's unsoloed. You can't solo dive her at all, because she's obviously got so many options, and the fact that she can just simply just run away from you and you can't do anything about it. So unless you commit full dive to her, she's just fucking fine. Plus her positioning means she's more likely to be near her supports, and because the supports are so brain dead easy this season, even if you solo dive them and play absolutely perfectly, they're gonna get a Suzu, they're gonna get a Lamp, they're gonna get a fucking Weaver pool, they're gonna get just an unbelievable limit. They're gonna get the Diva defense matrix. They're just gonna get so much fucking peel. There's just genuinely nothing you can do. So the entire game comes down to, is your Ashe better than theirs? And if your Ashe is better than theirs, then you win the game, because the Ashe will never ever die if you have teammates with any brain whatsoever, because it's so easy to peel. Because like I said earlier, the game is so accessible now that every hero is super easy to play, mostly because of the way they've been balanced in the game, but also the format, making it so that because the format is so bad, they had to make it that 1v1s, because they're more accessible, have to be harder to win. And the way they did that was not by making the characters actually more difficult on 1v1 in the strength that they gave them more strength in their 1v1 potential, as like I'm talking about the DPSs 1v1ing each other, more in the fact that the supports now just press a button and you're just completely fine. A bit like McCree, how he's been dumbed down into being, instead of being the squishy aim hero where you're super rewarded for aiming really well, he's now the I'm completely invincible and if you go near me you die character, which is boring as fuck. Kiriko is obviously like the demon of the game, the devil herself. It's just, I don't get it at all. Walk into the enemy backline, you're shooting people. Okay, they're shooting at you. Okay, I'm completely fine. Okay, I'm gonna keep shooting at you. Oh, you're shooting at me. Okay, I'm gonna teleport away. Okay, well, I'm completely fine. Oh, well, you don't get that same luxury of being able to teleport through walls and make yourself invincible and heal yourself and make yourself invulnerable and cleanse all of your abilities and then walk on away with your tiny hitbox and your high dueling potential because the kunais are so big and they do so much damage. Oh, well, I'm sorry, bro. You're just bad at the game. I play Kiriko all day and I don't have a frontal lobe. Classic Kiriko player. There's no arguing with them. They think their character's completely fine when they're not. And then you have heroes in the game like Genji, Hanzo, and Soldier, which are so preposterously dog shit. It just doesn't even make any sense in my brain as to how they manage to balance the game to the point where the actually skill-based heroes like Genji, Hanzo, and Soldier are so fucking ass. Soldier does like 5 damage when he shoots a tank hero, and if he headshots them, they actually gain HP, does so little damage. Genji is literally not even a pickable hero anymore. It's actually weird. If you queue into a ranked game with him above Diamond and you pick Genji, it automatically kicks you back to the main menu and you lose 25 SR. Really weird, don't know why that happens. Hanzo's actually a little bit worse, where if you pick him, your game automatically uninstalls and you're reset to bronze. Really weird. I don't know how they managed to fuck that up. Also, the devs don't understand how the actual game balance works, like literally at all, because what they do is, let's say Monkey and Diva are good, right? That means that, for example, Ryan probably isn't that good. This is just an example, right? This is not actually based off the stats they did, because if it was, I'd talk about Orisa. But let's say for Ryan, for example. Let's say that Ryan has a 40% win rate because Monkey and D.Va are super good. Does that inherently mean that Ryan is bad? Because his win rate is low, and because Monkey and D.Va are dominating the game. Anyone with any sort of intelligence here would say, no, that doesn't mean Ryan is bad. That just means that the other heroes are better. And because it's 5v5, that means that those heroes are the flavor of the month, and therefore Reinhardt doesn't get picked that much, and when he does, he's outclassed by the hero who's simply better than him. Does that mean that Ryan is bad? No, it means the other one is good, which is why we get things like Orisa in the game right now, where every single patch micro buffs the fuck out of her, and we're going to wait for the moment where the dive hero gets nerfed, and we go into a meta that incentivizes high survivability tank heroes, and Orisa will be back to the top again, where because she was micro buffed so much, she's now so ludicrously overpowered to the point where now she's insanely overpowered, and that's just how the game is, because they don't understand the balance. It's the same thing that happened with D.Va. It's the reason D.Va is so strong in there, where because D.Va wasn't getting picked before because the environment wasn't good for her, they were micro buffing her over and over again, and she got micro buffed to the point of just simply raw stat padding her way to the top, even though the environment was not necessarily perfect for her. She just completely destroyed the game and was like, nah, you know what, actually I think I will be breaking the game today, because that's how the devs balance the game. They go, wow, the pick rate is pretty low for this hero, the win rate is pretty low, therefore the hero must suck, because the devs are paid six-figure salaries to do absolutely fuck all day. Great job, Balance team. You're really doing a great job fucking up the game like you always do, thank God. General power creep issues in the game, of course, which is a fucking classic. I mean, that's been happening for years. I'm pretty sure Josh No, I think is his name. Forgive me if I said if it's the wrong guy, but I'm pretty sure he said that power creep wasn't a real thing. So that's his balance in your game, by the way. I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. I should have checked beforehand, but I didn't because I'm lazy. Anyway, that was me talking about Season 12, why it's one of the worst seasons of all time. Hopefully I change your opinion a little bit. Quick summary, the reason Season 12 is awful is because it affects the entire player base, not just the high-ranked players like the old metas did. For example, Double Shield didn't really affect the low-ranked players in Overwatch 1, but this meta does affect the fucking gold players in this game. Therefore, the majority of the player base is having a worse time, which has a greater impact on the game, generally speaking. Anyway, goodbye. I love you. Mwah, mwah. Have a good day. Bye-bye.